What's up, everybody? Welcome to Human Innovation Tarot. My name is Eddie with Imagine Life Development Center. And tonight we are going to do an obligatory full moon reading, the full moon in Scorpio, all about your passion, intimacy, desire, and sexuality. All that fun, spicy stuff. If you're new to my channel, I'd greatly appreciate it if you click the like, share, and subscribe button for me. All the other information you need to know is in the description box below. And so basically what we're going to do tonight is very important. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to break a lot of stipulations and trends and stereotypes with tarot reading. So, actually, before even that, so we're going to step way back. And if you hear a lot of banging or just random kabooms, kaplows, or like what's happening, it sounds like someone's trying to like break in. That's actually the upstairs neighbor. So I don't know if they're like, I don't know if it's like they're like doing like midget wrestling up there. I really don't know what's going on up there. But so yeah, I mean, it's kind of sounds like all hell's breaking loose or something. So anyways, yeah. So whatever that is, if you hear it, I apologize for it in advance. Okay, so back. Let's take a step back. So stereotype we're breaking. Well, first, we're not actually breaking this stereotype. Well, actually, we kind of are, maybe. So the first stereotype is I'm completely jamming out to Phil Collins. And if you can guess the song, and it's not In the Air Tonight, although that would be an obligatory full moon reading Phil Collins song. It's a totally different one. Yeah, so, sometimes whatever gets you in the mood, gets you in the mood. Also, cheers. A glass of wine will do, because, that helps you stay super spiritual and connected and all that stuff. But so getting down to business here. So basically, this reading is going to be a little bit of everything. And what I want you guys to know, and what's most important or more important than any other thing, even in the reading itself, is a statement I'm about to make. I know it's a huge. I'm making a huge promise at the beginning of this video, right? Or I'm making a bold statement, rather. So a lot of people, I feel traditionally, and what most people say, most spiritualists, tarot readers, oracle readers, astrologists, ABC, XYZ, all the spiritual people and all the groups and categories, the way that they have a tendency to describe energy, whether it's a full moon, whether it's an eclipse, whether it's a portal, whether it's a this, whether it's a that, or whatever the thing is that they're talking about. We're always told or communicated, the way that these things are communicated to us, rather, is that these things are happening to us, right? And that's partially true. Like, we are affected by the energy, but that is only half the truth. We are also, the energy is there for us to utilize. And that's the thing that we don't hear about. And that's the more important thing, right? So it's almost like, let's say I was going to give you $10,000 for free. Like, here's $10,000, but there's a caveat, there's a catch. There's fine print at the bottom, right? And the fine print says this: you have to use $5,000 of the 10, so you have to use half of it first before you get the other $5,000, right? And so that's kind of like what this is, like what we go through. It's like, yes, the full moon, and yes, the portals and the eclipses and the these and the that's and the those and the astrologies and all the things. Yes, energy is everything. And yes, that energy does affect us. Of course it does. But that's not the end of the story. But that's where most people end the story. That's where most people leave it. It's like, okay, that's it. That's all there is for us to know, right? Now, that's not all there is for us to know. We are the magicians. So if you've ever watched a tarot reading or you know anything about tarot, the magician is technically the first major arcana. Yes, the fool is, technically the first. I'm holding these cards. Should probably put these down for a second. Technically, the Fool is the first of the major arcanas, but it's the 0 card. The actual first card major arcana, the card that's numbered 1 is the Magician. We are the magician, right? We are the ones. We are the creators of our own realities, right? And I explain this in some videos on my channel that are probably and will forever be the most important videos, more important than any card reading that I ever do on my channel, are the videos where I explain things, meaning there's no reading, there's no cards being used. I'm teaching about how energy works. Because until we understand our responsibility as the magicians, as the creators, how we're supposed to utilize the energy, then you can watch tarot readings for the rest of your life and nothing's going to change. You can be addicted to tarot. You can hand tarot all your power, just like people hand their power to gods and religions and politics. You can make an idol or a god out of anything, right? And all an idol or a god is something that you give your power away to, which is interesting, right? So, and I don't want to turn this into an explanation video because this is actually a reading where I'm going to use cards, but I do need to preface the reading I'm about to do so that you guys can get the most out of it. Because if all you do is watch this video, just like you watch all the other tarot readings out there, it's just another one. I'm just another voice amongst thousands of other tarot readers on YouTube. What makes me different? I have just a different face, a different voice, and my channel is a different name, right? So, like, why listen to me and not the other bajillion other tarot readers out there, right? It all becomes, just kind of the same in my opinion. And I'm guilty of this because I've done this, right? But I feel that where we are being pushed, collectively speaking, where all of us, whether you are spiritual, whether you watch tarot readings, whatever, the people out there that aren't watching this video, the same applies to them. We are all collectively being pushed to something that the spiritualists call is, leveling up our consciousness, right? Awakening, going to the next level, transcending, conscious awareness, all these different things, all these different, spiritual names and titles and words and verbiage and all this stuff that's used, right? But really, at the end of the day, when you take all that stuff out of it, you take the terminology out, you take the words out of it, the verbiage and the paraphernalia and the spirituality and all that, if you strip it down to the bare bones, what we're being pushed collectively to do is to start taking responsibility for the power that we've been given all along as creators. Because we are little g gods, right? There's the big G God, which was the force that nobody understands or knows that created the little g gods, like us. The collective, the consciousness, the energy, whatever that thing is that's beyond our ability to understand is the big G God, and we are the little g gods, right? But we, similarly to the big G gods, we have been given power to create. And energy was given to us to work with. It's the putty, right? We're the pottery makers. We make the clay and all that stuff. And energy is the substance that we've been given to use and utilize to create our reality. So when you watch this video, and I'm going to harp on this for a while because I want the people that come to my channel to get this, because I don't want you to watch tarot readings forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and wonder, when's my life going to change? When's anything going to be different, right? I actually want your life to change. I actually want you to get the thing, the person, the outcome, the relationship, whatever it is that you're wanting. I actually want you to get it and never have to come back and watch another tarot video again. I mean, unless you just want to watch it for entertainment and that's your thing, and that's cool. That's cool. Like, if that's your thing, that's your thing. No problem. We all have a thing. But for those of you that aren't watching tarot for entertainment, I want you to realize the power that you have, and as you grow, the power within you grows, and as you begin to have a relationship with yourself, you start to begin to have a relationship with the power within you. as a creator. And then you go out into the world and you do amazing things. And it doesn't have to stop at just the relationship or the job or the house. It can be anything you want, right? And if that's where you want to stop at the relationship, you want to stop at the job, or you want to stop at a certain income or whatever, that's fine. It's your life. You get to choose to do whatever you want with it. That's the point. So all of that to say that what we're going to look at going into this reading is we're going to look at everything, all the things. There's going to be some advice given. That's going to be the most important part. I'm going to pull on relationships. There's going to be a little bit of everything. It's going to be a little bit just anything. I'm going to pull a little bit on career, a little bit of finances. I'm going to try to go through it a little bit quickly because I have a tendency to want to go into the deeper things. Most of my readings, I have a tendency when I'm not trying to be like other readers, and I'm just authentically doing it the way that I feel led to do it, I have a tendency to want to go into things in a deep way, right? Which makes my readings go a little bit longer than the average, I feel. But because there's a lot of different areas and categories that I want to touch on, I've got to move a little bit quicker than I normally would. So it's going to be a little touch and go, a little quicker, but I'm going to hit a lot of different things. I'm going to explain it as I go. Okay. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the obligatory Moonology Oracle deck. We'll start with that because, you have to use the Moonology Oracle deck on a full moon reading, or you're just not even a legitimate reader. That's just, everybody knows that, right? Otherwise you're just complete amateur rubbish. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, we have to use the Moonology deck. All right. So I'm going to pull one card to get the overall energy of this full moon energy in Scorpio. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 3-3-3. So I'm going to use 3 cards, 3 cards, and 3 cards. And we're just going to look at some advice. We're going to look at kind of the overall topic, the things that the universe wants you to know about. This is an all signs reading, so it could be any sign. And if this resonated with you or you found my channel, you're meant to find it. So that's what this will be about. And then I will look at some relationship stuff, single, if you're in a relationship, and I'll look at a little bit of career stuff. So it'll be a little touch and go. And at the end, I'll wrap it up. We'll take a look. I'll pull a surrender card to see what you need to let go of. And whatever advice comes to me throughout the reading, that's what we'll look at here. So this is going to be all over the place, is basically what this reading is, okay? So, sit back and enjoy. I'm going to fire up some music here for myself. I had the music turned off to do my spiel here, but I'm turning the music back on. And, because it's all about the vibe. It's all about the energy. So that's what we're doing. All right. So let's get the first card out here. So what would you like the collective to focus on and know? We got 2 cards. That's fine. We'll just take them. Okay. So this is crazy. So it's not full moon in Scorpio, but it's full moon in Cancer, water sign. So that's pretty wild that came out. So I'm going to put that here. Oh, and it says a personal issue reaches resolution. So whatever that means for you, and for a lot of you, I feel like this is the past. So we're dealing with we had the eclipse, we're in retrograde, and we have the last full moon of April. It's the last full moon of April, but it's also the first full moon in the sign of Taurus because we just got into Taurus season. So a lot of moving parts here. So intuitively, I feel like a lot of you guys will have a past situation or person or something coming back, and it's going to be resolved. And if a lot of you have been waiting for this for between 1 and 3 years, it's been a while. And a lot of you have been watching tarot readings for a while, and you're getting so close now. Okay. I'm actually going to pull a timing card on this in just a second. All right. So the second card, full moon, another full moon card. Now keep in mind, this is a big deck. This Moonology, I don't know how many are in there, We got 2 full moon cards on the full moon. But this is a full moon in Virgo. And this is saying you are good enough. And I feel like that's just timeless. That's a timeless message, because a lot of you, I don't really feel like you have always felt good enough, right? And I know that's kind of generic cliche, but it's a timeless message. A full moon here and a full moon here. So it's interesting. So here are corners here, green and blue, earth and water. So some of you could be earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and we're in Taurus season. Some of you watching might be water signs, obviously, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I mean, you could be any sign of the zodiac. What I'm trying to say is this may resonate more if you have that somewhere in your chart, not just your sun sign, anywhere in your astrological chart. Okay, so let's take a look and see. I'm going to start using with this deck. And we're going to get 3 cards here. And then I'm going to get, 3. So it'll be 3, 3, and 3. And this is just what you need to know. What is the full moon? How's the full moon affecting you? What is the energy that you need to utilize? Not just the energy affecting you, right? Because we already know that. You can just get on Google full moon in Scorpio, right? Or maybe one of your apps you have downloaded on your phone already tells you what the full moon in Scorpio is about. So we know how it's affecting us, but we don't necessarily know what we need to do to squeeze the extra juice out of it, right? And I feel like I'm going to have to move this. I'm a Virgo sun, and I'm noticing this right here, this part right here on my camera. It's bothering me. So that's something maybe some of you guys wouldn't have even cared or noticed of, but I did. So I just took mental note of that. Okay, so the first card out we have is illumination. So some of you guys you're being illuminated. Something is now being illuminated to you for the first time. And for some of you, it's like the blinders are coming off. The second card we have is pause. So something has either been on hold or on pause, or you need to put it on hold, or you need to put it on pause. And it could have to do with this illumination energy. It may or may not. Depends on how it resonates with you. All right. Now, interesting. We have illusions. Fascinating. And we have manifestation at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so that's essentially magician energy, which is everything that I said at the beginning of this reading. That whole long spiel and tangent I went on about how we are the little g gods, and it's up to us to utilize the energy because we are the creators of our reality, and we have a responsibility to create. And you guys are going to have to bear with me for 2 seconds. It just is what it is. Tonight, at least, it is what it is. Okay. So, all right. Back to the reading. So, this is why this is interesting and fascinating. So, we have illumination, pause, and we have illusions. Why is that fascinating? Because I feel like, again, this full moon energy, the responsibility that you or we all have, right? We have this energy to work with. It's not just the way that it affects us. It's also, what is our responsibility? How do we utilize this energy? Well, the full moon is giving you the opportunity to, one, when you take a pause, for some of you, you're already doing this, so you'll already know. For others of you, this is an action step. So again, some of you have already been doing this, so this may not necessarily apply to that group. The other group of you, this is direct advice. you need to take a pause. You need to put something on pause. Like a video game or like a movie. Press pause and the picture is still. The frame, the picture is not moving, it's still. And when something's on pause, you can expect that frame, that picture. You can see everything in that picture. You can pay attention to details and you won't miss anything. Whereas if the video is playing, you have to try to keep up with everything. And sometimes if you're not paying attention, little details can be missed. But when you put something on pause, you get to take as much time as you need to look at all the fine print and all the fine details. That's what Spirit is showing you. When you put this on pause, you're going to see the picture in detail. You're going to be illuminated to things you've never seen before that in the past were casting illusions. In other words, this is where you've been. You've been in the land of illusion. Things were foggy, not clear. You didn't understand. Confusion. Fogginess, confusion, lack of clarity, all of that. Illumination is the opposite of that. Illumination is, ooh, aha, I see. I see clearly now that the rain is gone. You can see things for what they really are now with this illumination energy. So, starting out, you guys got to put something on pause. That's going to give you illumination, and you're going to see things clearly that you haven't been seeing before. Okay? Again, this is how you show up, right? So this isn't me telling you. This is an action step. In other words, if you don't do this, then you're not going to see the effect of it, and you're going to come back and go, that reading, that full moon reading you gave Eddie was a bunch of crap. It was garbage. None of it came true. It was complete. It was all false. Like, no, it wasn't false, because energy doesn't lie. These cards represent energy. So I could say the cards don't lie, but the cards just represent energies. Energy doesn't lie. These cards are here to tell you that you have a responsibility to take action. And if you take action, then you're going to get the result of taking the action, cause and effect. You're going to see something that you've been missing. We're going to find out what that is. Let's use this one. All right, so I'm going to use this. I'm just going with what I feel guided. So this is completely unscripted. Normally I plan out like in advance in my mind, like what decks I'm going to use and all that. But tonight I'm just throw it to the wind. Okay, so I'm going to get 3 more cards from this deck, and we'll see. We'll get a little bit more of the picture painted here. Okay. I'm sorry. I was just thinking to pay attention to the numbers. So 23, 65, 24, 45, 34, 52. I just got to pay attention sometimes to the numbers because sometimes that's important. All right. So okay, so excuse me. I didn't want to cough in your guys' face. All right, so the first card out, we have mending. So yeah, this makes total sense because, again, over here we have this Moonology card. A personal issue reaches resolution. And over on this side, we have you are good enough. So whatever the situation that's been on pause, things are coming to light that are going to give clarity about things that were not so clear. There's a situation that will have an opportunity for you to mend, but it's going to be up to you and potentially this other person, this other party, this other situation. Let me back up and say it like this. We can't control what the other person, party, or situation does, right? So let's just forget about that. The only thing that we can control is ourselves. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to say what I wanted to say, or the way that I need to say it. So you're going to have an opportunity, forget them, because you can't control what they do. You're going to have an opportunity, regardless of what the other party does, to mend a situation. And some of you, I say, well, but I didn't do anything. It wasn't my fault, blah, 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 blah. No, I get it. And I'm not saying that you did. I'm not saying you were the person at fault. I'm saying that regardless of how this person comes to you, because somebody might come back. They might try to want to work on things with you. They might try to apologize to you, whatever the situation may be. You're going to have the opportunity to decide how I want to mend this. Why? Because you have the leg up here, right? You're the person who has a leg up on the situation. You're the more awakened person, the more spiritual person. You were the person that got harmed. You're the person that got screwed over. You're the person who got effed over. And this person knows. Like, this person, if they did you wrong, they know they did you wrong, and they know that they're going to have to come back to you, and they know that it's like, hey, yeah, it was me. It was my bad. It was my fault. You know, it's like they know that they're going to have to come to you as the guilty party. So you in that sense, it's kind of like you kind of have a, you know, like you could, if you wanted to be that person, you could hold it over their head. You know, you could rub it in their face. You could make them feel guilty about it. You have all this ammo of what they did to you to pull from, right? And so you have a decision to make. Who do you want to be? Are you going to lower the standard of who you are based on the experience you had with someone else? Are you, regardless of what this person did or didn't do for you, or did or didn't do to you, who are you going to be? Do you have the capacity and the ability? Have you evolved into a place within yourself to where you can say, I've forgiven this person genuinely and authentically. I've forgiven them. I've released that energy. I've released all bitterness, resentment. I've released all this negative, whatever happened to me. Doesn't mean you forget it. It doesn't mean that you're not allowed to have boundaries. It doesn't mean you just let this person back into your life. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that as a powerful person, how did you manage the energy that situation brought into your life? How did you manage it? And what energy do you want to reproduce as a result of it? Because most people become the thing that hurts them, right? So if you're cheated on and cheated on and cheated on and cheated on, well, eventually you become a cheater. Because you're like, well, I'm sick and tired of being the person who does right by everybody, right? Like, you're sick and tired of being the good person, the good guy or the good girl, the faithful one, when every time you get in a relationship, you just get cheated on. So you're like, well, you know what? Screw it. Fine. F it. I'm going to just become a cheater like everybody else. So you lower the standard of who you are based on the experience you have with all these other people. And so now you become the very thing that hurts you. You become the thing that you didn't want to happen to you. That's what always happens, right? Alcoholics who, they become alcoholics because their parents are alcoholics, or abusers, the abused become abusers because they were abused, right? It's a perpetual cycle. And some people call it generational curses and all these other things. But essentially, that's all that it is. It's somebody does something harmful to somebody else, and then that person, because they didn't deal with the harmful energy, they become the thing that hurt them. So you have an opportunity. The point here with this leg up card is you have a choice to make. And you need to really think about it with this pause energy. Who do I want to be? Forget what happened to me. Forget what this person did. Forget all the other things. You have to be able to separate the infraction from your character, who you are, your moral compass. You need to go within yourself and say, I'm going to be this person no matter what. I don't care who hurts me. I don't care what you do to me. You will never define me. Person, place, thing, situation, emotion, it doesn't matter. Abuse, trauma, it doesn't matter. You need to be so confident in who you are that nothing will ever define you, because you made the choice. You define you. You don't allow something outside of you to define you. You made that decision about yourself. This is who I'm going to be, period. Do what you want to me. That's fine. Whatever. I mean, I'm not saying it's fine, but I'm just saying, like, you're just not going to be defined by anything that somebody else has done to you. So this is a very, 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 very important message, if not maybe the most important message in the reading, in my opinion, because it's so important for us to determine who we are first. Because if we don't know who we are, then we're just like a feather that's being blown in the wind, right? There's a famous verse in the Bible. Jesus said, if someone strikes you on one cheek, turn to them the other. And a lot of people who don't understand what Jesus was really talking about will say that, oh, that just means to be humble and meek, to just be somebody's punching bag and all that kind of stuff. That's not true. What Jesus was saying is, when you have learned to master yourself, you won't give your power away to anyone. Someone can smack you in the face to get a reaction out of you, because that's what most people would react. Someone pushes you. What do you want to do? You want to push them back. Someone smacks you. They make you angry. Well, they just hijacked you. People can poke at you. People can do things to you to get a reaction out of you if you let them, right? If they say something nasty to you, what do you want to do? You want to say something nasty back, maybe. So you've given all your power and all your control away, because if I can get you to do things, because I know all I have to do is poke at you, call you a name, push you, antagonize you, whatever, then I control you, because I can predict that you're going to behave a certain way by the way that I treat you. What Jesus was saying is, if you master yourself, when people antagonize you, they smack you, they push you, they call you in, whatever someone does to you, you show them that you are in control of you, and they will never have that power over you. Smack me in the face? What were you expecting? You're expecting me to try to smack you back. Eye for an eye. You threw a punch at me, you were expecting me to come back and throw a punch at you and start a fight. But I will show you that I have power and control over me. I'll show you the other side of it. You smack me on this cheek, here's the other one. Smack me again if you want, because you're not going to get me to do something outside of my power, out of my control. You don't control what I do with me. I control what I do with me. See what I'm saying? That's what this is about. You're going to have a choice to make about your behavior and your action when this person shows up with this mending. Now, the third card we have is time to go. And the traditional meaning of this card is there's nothing else to learn here. Time to go. You've learned all the lessons. There's nothing else to learn here. Nothing else to see. Nothing else to learn here. Time to move on. You're going to have a decision to make. Here's you in the middle. Everything that I just said. This is about you. Which cheek? This cheek, you can mend. This cheek, go after yourself. We're done. You're going to have an option to make here when this person comes back. It's up to you. You can mend this situation, or you can walk away from it. Either way, you're good. Just FYI. So for those of you that are worrying, like, oh my God, I got a decision to make. I know there's a lot of people out there who they hate having to make a decision because they're afraid they're going to make the wrong decision, right? Because part of you, when you're not smacking your microphone, part of you has resentments towards what this person did to you. Okay. The other part of you, so part of you is like, yeah, I don't want this person in my life because they hurt me. But there's this other part of you that you really, really love this person. There's a part of you that wants to hold on to them. If you're being completely honest with yourself, you know that's true. Part of you's holding on. Part of you wants to walk away or has walked away and is like, yeah, screw them, F them, I don't care. Right? So you're caught in between two worlds, and you're going to have to decide what to do. right? And so that's the universe teaching you what I said at the beginning of this whole reading, which is how to use your power. Because most of us give our power away, giving our power away. We don't want to make that choice. We want somebody else to make the choice. We don't want to have to do the work. We want somebody else to do the work. We don't want to have to do this. We don't want to have to do that. We don't want to have to do this. We don't, it's like, you know, or the solution's outside of ourselves. Well, the solution is politics. The solution is religion, spirituality. The solution is medicine. The solution is this. The solution is that. It's always outside of us, right? That's how we're taught in this society, to look outside of yourself, look outside of yourself. We're not taught to look inside of ourselves, which is what true spirituality is. You looking inside of you to find who? To find you, right? And all that stuff about finding God and all that, that's bullshit too, right? Because you are the little g God. So you're essentially you're finding God by finding you, by looking within you, right? That's just spirituality 101. All right, so I'm going to use tarot now. So let's get 3 more cards. And then I'm going to do what I call just a quick touch and go reading on relationship and career, like I said. And I'll pull 1 card at the end, a surrender card, to see what the collective needs to surrender and let go of at this time. So the first card we have is the Page of Cups. This is not the relationship read, by the way. This is just tarot. So we're still here in the main reading. I'll let you guys know when I've specifically am transitioning to the next part of the reading, just so it's clear. Okay. Whoa. 1 more card, please. Okay. All right. Okay, so I got to take this off for a second. Okay, sorry. Let me put this over here. 1 second. Sorry. I was getting normally the music doesn't bother me, but I'm just very for whatever reason, I'm being very Spirit's telling me it's the messages that downloads that I'm getting are just very I don't know, borderline overstimulating, which is good. Okay, so the first card we have is the Page of Cups. This is the apology. This is this person coming back, blah, 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 blah. Typical standard. This is this person wanting to come back, wanting to make up with you. It's probably a small gesture, to be honest with you. I don't know what the background or what the backstory is to whatever's happened in your situation. But I am intuitively picking up that whatever happened in the past with this person, the size of the cup that they're bringing back to you doesn't match the size of the infraction that was done to you. Okay. And, you just have to understand that, it's a big deal. I know some of you are like, a big deal. What are you talking about? I get it. But you have to try to put yourself in their shoes to understand that they're a dog coming back to you with their tail tucked between their legs. They've got a lot. They know they effed up big time. They know that they have a lot of explaining to do. They know they have all kinds of things. They know all the things, okay? They know all of the things. So I'm not here to try to minimize whatever's happened, okay? But what I am here to do is to just simply tell you that they're going to come back. They have feelings and emotions for you, but you need to understand that it's way bigger than what they're presenting, okay? So let me put it to you this way. There is the wounded person. Okay, there's two people here. There's 2 people living inside of that person who hurt you. All right. And I'm being very specific here. So if you're like, well, I'm not here about a tarot reading or, a full whatever reading here about somebody who hurt me. Nobody's hurt me. Then, okay, this part of the reading is not for you. This part of the reading is for someone who specifically knows that someone's hurt you. Okay. There were two different people inside of that person, which is inside of all of us, really. There was the wounded person, which is the person who wounded you. The wounded person is the person, like I said before, is the person who became the thing. We become the thing that we become the thing that we didn't want to happen to us, right? So whatever that, if it was if it was abuse, whatever that thing is, we become the thing that we didn't want to happen to us. Well, there's that wounded person inside of them, and they became it. They became whatever. So, if you were to go back in their past, and some of you may already know this, if you were to go back in their past, you would know that, well, this person got hurt, effed over, screwed over, something happened to them. Right? And that's not co-signing what they did to you. That doesn't make, two wrongs don't make a right, right? So it doesn't make what they did to you acceptable or okay. But again, if we're going to grow and evolve, we have to get outside of our own judgment, which does mean that sometimes we have to get over even our own pain. Even if your pain is justified, like, no, that person did hurt me. I understand. I've been hurt. I've gone through all kinds of things too. But sometimes we have to transcend even our own pain to get to a higher elevation, a higher place, to see things from a new perspective. Because if we stay in our pain, then we're going to stay in judgment. We're going to stay in our need for justice and all these things. We live in this realm where all these other things have to happen in order for us to feel like we can move forward. And when we stay there too long, then we end up becoming the same. We could potentially become the same thing that they became, because that's what they did. When somebody hurt them, they camped out. I was hurt. This person did this to me and did that to me. And they held on to the anger and the bitterness and the unforgiveness and the injustice of it until they became the same thing. They became a shell of themselves. They became so detached and so far away from anything recognizable. They suppressed and suppressed and suppressed and suppressed. And they built a wall. They became so callous to where they basically became the Walking Dead, a zombie. And so now they go out into the world and they don't care who they hurt. They don't care that they hurt you. They don't care that they even hurting themselves, because they've built such a barrier between them and their emotions that they don't care. It's like, yeah, you know what? Doesn't matter. They've been living with pain for so freaking long. They don't care if they get hurt, because in their mind, they can't be hurt. They think that they've made themselves immune to being hurt. And because they cut themselves off from their heart, which is their compassion, their ability to feel and empathize, which is the most beautiful part. The heart is where the heart is where life is, not the head or the ego. The heart is what pumps blood through your body. The heart is what gives us life. They become so detached from that they become capable of doing the very things to other people that they had done to them when they didn't want that done to them. That's my point, okay? So coming back to the card, they're going to come back to you with an apology, but they're coming back to you with also an illusion. Part of the illusion here is you might think that, see, they came back and they tried to just act all casual and like nothing happened, or however they act. They would have you believe that they only have a teeny bit of feelings and emotions for you, if any at all. In fact, you might be like, this person doesn't have any true feelings for me. That's your judgment, right? You're passing judgment on them. That's your hurt. That's your woundedness. That's your ego. They don't care about me. If they cared about me, they wouldn't have blah, 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 blah. And again, I get it. I'm human. I've done these things too, right? So you might cast judgment. You might, quote unquote, throw stones at this person and all these things. Like, they don't care about me, blah, 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 blah. No, they do. the cup that they bring you is not representative of the actual feelings they have for you. Because this isn't what this person is doing is not something they've ever done before. This person has not ever come back to somebody else before. If they've done this to other people in their past, it didn't matter. Those people were long forgotten. They really didn't care with those people. With you, it's different. You were the one that got in. You were the one that showed them the way. You were the one that showed them the truth. You were the one that showed them the life and the light. You were the way, the truth, and the life for this person. They came into the illumination of realizing it. You illuminated things. You hit them like a train. You were like the pause button that they didn't ask for. Like they were going on life and like boom, all of a sudden it was like life was on pause. Because you cut through the illusions and the bullshit in their life. Whether you meant to or not, it doesn't matter. Whether you knew you had this effect on them or not, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you. I'm here telling you that you had this effect on this person. That's why they're coming back to you. They're not coming back to you just because they want to, fuck with you again for another round. Take you through the ringer yet again. Play you for a fool yet again. This person is coming back because you effed them up hardcore. And all of the energies that have been happening, there's things that have been happening in this person's life that you don't even know yet. Things that you don't understand. You've done something to this person. Even if you haven't spoken to this person, even if you've been in no contact for a long time, you have no clue what you've done to this person. This person doesn't even completely know what you've done to them because they're just now realizing it. They're just now coming into the awareness of it. They're having a holy shit moment. And so they're going to, as they begin to realize the profoundness of the effect that you had on their life, that's what's causing them to want, holy crap. There's an urgency, and it's a spiritual urgency. It's the best way I know to describe it. Something that's deeper, bigger, larger, and more profound than any emotion, feeling, scenario, situation. It's none of that ego stuff that we like to hear about, because it feeds our ego. Like, oh yeah, like we like to be our ego to be puffed up. We like to think that this person's coming back because, they couldn't find anybody better. They couldn't find anybody hotter, or they couldn't find anybody who had sex with them and made love to them the way that I did, or whatever. All that stuff that we like to get off on because it puffs our ego up. That's not what's happening. This person had an encounter with their higher self or their deeper self or whatever self, the God, the source, the universe, whatever self is the biggest self of the selves. They had an encounter, and that power, their higher power, whatever that power is, basically shoved the truth right up their ass, smacked them upside the head, say, hey, dumbass, you get it now? They had a reality check is what I'm saying. Okay. The next card is we have the moon, and we also have the death card. So we have, technically Pisces, but the moon is kind of both Cancer, Pisces for me. So we have Cancer, Pisces, and we have Scorpio with the death. So tons of water energy. And again, we have that over here, the full moon in Cancer card up here. So you could be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You could have been dealing with a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Doesn't have to be, but I'm just mentioning it because people like to know it. This person, this is the same card up here, the illusions. Fears, illusions, uncertainty. It's unclear. It's foggy. The unknown. All of that is the moon energy. The same thing that's up here. Okay, it's the same card. So we're getting a repeat message. This person was ruled by their inner fears. They had to go through a death. Everything I just talked about. They had to go through a death and be reborn. So the death card is also known as the death/rebirth card, right? It's to do with transformation. Some tarot decks just call it transformation. And the death card is card number 13. And if I'm not mistaken, okay, so it's like 3 cards before the tower, basically. I was trying to remember where the tower played out on all of this. So, which is neither here nor there. So forget that. I was trying to tie it to something that I thought I had in my mind, in the placement of in the order of the major arcana. So, and I still don't have all of the, like I have a lot of them memorized, but I'm just being honest. I don't have the exact, like if you gave me like the, if I had to sit down and write them out, I think I could do it, and do it right. But off the top of my mind in a reading, I can't seem to remember the order when it gets to like the middle, right? I do well at the beginning and I can do well towards the end, but it's those middle cards that I get confused with. Anyway, completely distracted. So these 3 cards at the bottom here, basically saying this person has a lot more emotion and feelings for you than they're showing. You've transformed this person's life without them even knowing it, but now they're coming into awareness. The moon is basically indicating this person is scared shitless. They're still coming to you scared. So, just try to have a little bit of understanding and grace. Like this person they've been pushed out of their comfort zone by their higher power, basically. Like God, source of the universe, has lit a fire into their ass and said, go back over there and say sorry for what you did. At the bare minimum, go over there and say sorry for what you did. And so this is them, but it's not just like that. They're not coming back because they're being forced to, like the universe is twisting their arm and you're like, well, I don't want, I get it. Some of you guys are like, I don't want some forced apology. So I don't want to make it sound like it's completely forced, but the point is this person is still coming to you and they're very, very, very scared. So if you can just have a little bit of empathy in understanding like that it's taking a lot for this person to come forward because they know. It's like the universe has reconnected them to that part of themselves that they allowed to die so long ago because of whatever happened to them that hurt them. And so they swore. And this is why you should never swear. You should never, because words are powerful. You should never weaponize something so powerful against yourself. You should never weaponize yourself against yourself and say, oh, I'm never going to let this happen again. And so a lot of people say that, right? You get hurt and then you swear, I'm never going to let this happen to me again. And I get why people say that. And it's for, the intention behind it is positive. It's meaning you're trying to protect yourself from you're trying to have a boundary, but you're going about it the wrong way. Learning a lesson and having a boundary and having a healthy boundary and learning how to keep bad things out while still remaining a healthy person on the inside, that's one thing. But what most people do is they're like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to turn off all my feelings, all my emotions. I'm going to build a fortress around my heart and I'm never going to feel again. And I'm going to just let my heart die inside me, basically. And then they lose all compassion, empathy. They lose all the things that their beautiful heart, what makes humans human. And so then they become narcissistic or sociopathic or, just basically the devil card, the devil energy. You become possessed and controlled by your lusts and your selfishness and temptation, and you just don't give a fuck anymore because your heart is actually the part of you that gives you a moral compass, character, integrity, all of that. Resilience comes from the heart. And so we end up stifling, suppressing, or cutting off the most important part of ourselves because we think that we're protecting ourselves when we're really not. And unfortunately, we lose the most important part of who we are because of somebody else, right? And it's like, no person should have that much power over us. Nothing that happens to you should be able to rob you of that. But we allow it because that's the illusion. And we think, oh, I don't ever want that to happen to me again. So I'm just going to tear my own heart out. God forbid that I feel anything, that I feel pain ever again. God forbid. So I tear my own heart out and I throw my heart away. So without a heart, what are you? You're a vampire and you're a zombie. You're the undead. And look at horror movies. What do zombies do? They eat people. And I don't mean in like the sexual good way, right? They're scary monsters that eat people. And then those people become dead people. So they do harm to other people. And then those other people become the undead too. And if it's not a zombie, it's a vampire. What do vampires do? Same thing, right? They go and they kill people. And certain people that they don't completely destroy and kill, they transform those people into other dead people, right? And so that's how people become monsters. It's because the thing that made them human, they tore it out and they threw it away because they didn't want to feel anymore. And that's sad. It's a very, very, very sad thing. This person has been reconnected to that. God, source, the universe, reconnected this person to the thing that they tried to get rid of because they didn't want to feel. And so for the first time in a very long time, they're feeling something. And you know what they're feeling? They're feeling remorse, guilt, and shame for the thing that they did to you. But they also feel the immense, massive amount of emotion and love and whatever that thing is that you did to them that changed their life, that they're just not having an awareness, or the impact that you had on them. Whatever that impact is, they're feeling that now too as well. And so all that emotion they're feeling, they're coming to you like a dog with its tail tucked between its legs, and they just want you to they're hoping that you'll just hear them out and just see. Because I don't think that this person's going to come back to you trying to get you to get anything from you. Like, they're not coming back to persuade you, to give you some sob story, or to plead for you to come back. I genuinely feel this person's just going to come back just wanting to, with a statement, an apology of just kind of like, hey, I just wanted you to hear this. You know what I mean? Like it's just a genuine apology. It's there if you take it or you can reject it. It's a take it or leave it, right? Like, they're not there to get anything from you. And it might seem small, but it's covering up a crap ton of emotion that they just became illuminated to. So I think if you can give this person a little bit of compassion, even if you feel like, well, where was the compassion? Well, you're right. They were a monster. When they hurt you, they were a monster. So maybe you feel like maybe you can't reconcile that. Maybe you're not there. Maybe you're not ready yet. I don't know. I don't know you. But if you can push that aside and you can just have enough compassion, even if it's the time, if it's, I don't know, it's a grain of salt, a grain of sand or something, whatever you got, just give them whatever little bit of compassion that you can, and maybe just try to understand that hurt people, and this was a very hurt person when they hurt you. You don't have to take them back. You don't have to let them back into your life. It's not about any of that. But if they apologize, maybe, just maybe, they actually realized what they did was wrong, and it's okay to accept their apology. I'll leave it at that because I'm harping on this now. This person is going to go through a transformation. They're going through a transformation regardless of you. Their higher power is involved. Like this person is getting a spanking from life. They've been thrown down the stairs. They made a bunch of really bad decisions. They're realizing, hey, you know what? I was the hurt, I was once upon a time the person who got hurt, and then I became the monster that decided I was going to go out and hurt other people because once upon a time I was hurt. And now they're having to pay the piper. They're having to stand before the judge, the ultimate judge, the universe. And life has, unfortunately, the buck stopped with you. So you, unfortunately, had to be the person that was the last time or the last person that person was ever going to hurt before the universe finally said, enough, no more. Now I'm stepping in. And for many of you, you're protected, by the way. So some of you, you're protected in that way. And people who come after you or hurt you, you just don't F with God's chosen people. And I don't mean that in like we're chosen because God doesn't care about other people. I'm just saying like certain people have certain types of calls on their life. They're held to certain standards. And when you screw with those people, you just get punished differently, right? Just like a police officer, right? Like police officers are supposed to be held to a higher standard. I know a lot of people would come into the comment, because they have all the hatred towards police officers, right? I get it. But on a legal level, regardless of what you think about cops, on a legal level, if you came and you pushed me and you punched me in the face or you slapped me or something, I could take you maybe to court, I guess, if I wanted to, but that's not an immediate violation of the law. If you go to a cop and you smack them in the face, instantaneously, you just broke a law. Instantaneously. I don't have that right. You can go around smacking people that aren't police officers all day long. But I also did not take a sworn oath to uphold the law and protect and do all these other things, right? So my point is when I say God's chosen people, I'm saying that there are people that are ordained by God who, or a higher power, they have a call. Let's just take God out of it. You have a call in your life that basically puts a level of responsibility on you. And so it's twofold. On one hand, you have a higher level of responsibility as you walk through life. On the other hand, people who do things to you get punished by the universe, the powers, karma, whatever you want to call it. They get it tenfold. So, on one hand, there's more expected of you. On the other hand, you have more protection as a result. So that's what I feel. I feel like with you were that person. This person didn't know that when they hurt you, that they were messing with somebody that's like, yeah, you don't mess with that person, because you mess with them, the universe is going to be like, yep, all right, you hurt them instantaneously. Now I got to step in, and you don't want me to step in. Like when the universe has to step in and serve up judgment, that's when shit gets bad, right? And that's what happened with this person. Okay, so for those of you who wondered if anything's happened to this person and you're watching this video, yeah, something happened to this person. They got their ass handed to them. Some of them are still getting their ass handed to them, and regardless of what you decide to do, whether you however, whatever. Take yourself out of it. Regardless of you, period, this person is going to go through a transformation. They are going through a transformation. They're going through a death and a rebirth, regardless of you. And you were the catalyst for that rebirth, regardless of them. It is what it is. Okay. So that's what's going on in the full moon thing. Now, part of me is feeling like I gave you guys a lot to process, and I don't want to distract the reading, but I also promise, you know what, let's just do it. Screw it. All right. So this is super quick. This has already gone over an hour. So here we go. For new love. For those of you that are single and searching for love, 3 cards, new love. It's coming up for my singles out there. New love. What can you expect from until the next full moon? I don't know when that is, but that's what this reading is good for. From full moon to full moon. So until the next full moon, this reading stands. All right. Singles. Give me singles, please. Single and searching. Give me 2 more cards, please. All right, so the first card that I see that fell out is the 7 of Swords. I'm going to wait on the other 2. Okay, we have the Emperor now, which is Aries energy. You could be an Aries, or there could be an Aries coming up for you in the near future. If you're looking for love, you're single, you're looking. Doesn't have to be that. It could be that. Okay, that's way too many. It's 3. I'll take. You know what? Fine. I'll just take it. All right. Yeah. And again, we're just going to go through this really quick. All right. So, 7 of Swords. At the very least, there's always 2 energies with the 7 of Swords. At the very least, you or the person you meet or both of you have trust issues. You're skeptical. You've been hurt in the past, so you're skeptical of being hurt again by new people. That's just normal behavior for most people. That's for half of you. The other half of you, there's a person that you could meet in the future who's just a liar and a cheater, and you just need to be aware of it. But I feel like for most of you, maybe more than half, most of you, 80% of you, you just have trust issues when it comes to new love because you've been hurt in the past. All right. We talked about the Emperor. Could be an Aries. Doesn't have to be. Could be somebody older than you. Doesn't have to be. I feel like this is you. This is you sitting in your power right now. Now you do have, next we have a Queen of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. So that could be you guys because this is an all signs reading. Doesn't have to be. And then we have the 2 of Pentacles, and then we have the 9 of Cups, and then at the bottom of the deck is the 8 of Cups. So basically, for those of you that are looking for new love, you may meet somebody who could be an Aries. You may meet somebody who could be an air sign. Doesn't have to be. But basically, what you guys need to know, there is somebody coming up in your near future. So I'm going to say within the next 90 days to play it safe here. Potentially, you're single and you're looking. So if you're single and you're not looking, this isn't for you. You might meet somebody that you might feel is a good match for you with the 9 of Cups. Something you've been looking for. You meet them. They start ticking off all the boxes. You feel really good with this person. 9 of Cups energy. For a lot of you, it might even be what you feel like you've been waiting for your wish fulfilled, as they say. But you're going to be up in the air about it. Like some of you could be, maybe you have 2 different people that you're interested in. That's a possibility with the 2 of Pentacles. And maybe that's why the 7 of Swords is here, because you're keeping that to yourself. You're staying quiet. Okay, I'm single, I'm dating. One of you meet somebody who's older, more mature, could be an Aries, doesn't have to be. And then there's another person that you're interested in who's this air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Both of them, though, are very stoic. Both of them are more, this is definitely a more intellectual, mental type of relationship, whatever's happening here, okay? But you're still into it. 9 of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we had the 8 of Cups, which is like, hey, you know, one of these options, if there's 2 people involved, one of these options is a keeper, one of them's not. One's the 9 of Cups, which is what you want. The 8 one's what you walk away from. It's not what you want. 8 of Cups is walking away from something, right? Now, if this is just one person and not 2 people, then you have a decision to make. You're going to be undecided. Do I stay or do I go? Do I like this person or do I not like this person? So essentially what this is saying is it'll take more time for you to decide. Basically, that's what this means, right? Like it'll be up to you when you meet this person to find out if, you know, it'll take more time for you to figure out how you really feel. Do I like this person or do I not like this person? I don't know yet. And I think that there will be some things that you do like about them and some things that you don't. And I think that's why that 2 of Pentacles is there. It's like, you know, is this my 8 of Cups? I want to walk away. Or is this my 9 of Cups? This is my wish come true. It's going to take time. So that'll be maybe a different reading that you'll have to check into. Okay, so that was new love. Let's take a look really quick. 3 cards for past. So you're wanting to know about a past person. Well, that's essentially what this whole reading was, basically, a past person. But I'm going to do it anyways, to be fair. You're interested in hearing from somebody from your past. You're interested in a past person. Give me 3 cards for the collective about a past person. Okay, 1 flipped and then it reflipped. That was wild. I think it was a Page of Pentacles. I saw it for a split second. I think it was a Page of Pentacles. Okay, so we have two down. Give me 1 more, please. Thank you. All right. Okay. 10 of Wands, 6 of Cups, Page of Wands, and at the bottom of the deck, 6 of Swords. So it's everything. It's everything I just said in this entire reading. 10 of Wands. This person is overwhelmed because, well, the universe, God source universe, has been pounding them. The universe will not leave this person alone. No matter this person, it doesn't matter. It's like there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide anymore. The universe is like, you're not getting away from me. If they try to use alcohol, doesn't matter. The universe is there putting the pressure on them. It's like, you want to drink? You think drinking's going to get you away from me? Nope. They drink and it intensifies. Like, okay, well, I'm just going to run over here and I'm going to find another boyfriend or another girlfriend. I'm going to, try to escape in sex and passion. It's like, okay, you think finding somebody else is going to distract you from me? Nope. They get with that other person. They're with them. And that relationship becomes super toxic, super volatile, or maybe if they're not even in a relationship with them, it's just sexual. And so they can't even enjoy that anymore because the whole time they're being bombarded with thoughts of you and what they did. So it's like they can't even, and it's not just the thoughts, there's an emotion behind it. They're being completely hammered, and it's not in a good feeling kind of way. They're being overwhelmed, basically. There's nowhere to run from the universe. You think you can get away from the universe? It's not happening. You hurt one of God's chosen. Now you're going to pay for it. So this is them coming back, 6 of Cups. And then we have the Page of Wands, which is essentially the same thing, just saying it a different way as everything I said with this Page of Cups. It's a small offer. It's extending an olive branch, because they're coming back to you like a dog with his tail tucked between its legs. It's everything I said here. So and then the Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck is basically them hoping that you haven't. This is them hoping that basically you don't tell them to go kick rocks or to go F themselves. All right. So I did promise also that I would do a few quick career finance cards. Okay. So I'm going to use this deck for that. And this is going to be very quick as well. In fact, the cool thing with these cards is that they actually have the words written on them. So, and I don't really do, if I'm just being honest, my channel, I really just focus mainly on spiritual growth and relationships. So I don't really do a lot of career readings. It's not that I don't know how or I don't understand the meaning. It's just, that's just not what I do with my channel. But if you come when I do a live tarot reading, you can ask me anything. You can ask about career, money, whatever. And a lot of people do. I just don't make my YouTube videos about it. Okay, so the first card that came out is Authority here. Give me two more, please, before I... Hold on, guys. Give me just a second here. Let me focus in on this. Thank you. When I don't focus, the cards don't want to come out. Thank you. All right, first card, Authority. Says, clashes with the boss or a challenge to your power will compel you to respond. Choose peaceful solutions if you can. So yeah, we're still in retrograde. We're coming out the other side of it now, but there's been a lot of intense energy. Don't go fighting with your boss, basically. All right. Keep the peace. Just try to keep the peace. Ups and downs. Your work has potential for both advancement and stagnation. See if there's hope, but allow yourself to move on if needed. And then drama, which I feel is what a lot of this energy that we've been in, right? Eclipse plus the full moon, retrograde. It's like layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of energy, which equals drama. Some people like drama. So if drama is your thing, cool. You're getting some of it. So this card says, beware of troublemakers in the workplace. Okay, sorry. Didn't want to sneeze in the camera, in the microphone. Beware of troublemakers in the workplace. The job you want may have too much upheaval to bear, and then keep emotions and gossip in check. Okay, so it's just, I feel fairly, it just is what it is. Very just common sense, straightforward there with the career finances. So if that resonates for you, hopefully it does. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So anyways, this was your guys' full moon and Scorpio reading. I hope that there was something in this that made sense to you guys. Again, the most important part of the readings that I do is, oh wait, I almost forgot. Wait, there's more. The surrender card. What does the collective need to focus on surrendering the most? Please give me just one. Because I feel like it's like wanting to like, it's like, no, I'm going to give you, you want just one card, you know? Then I'll give you like 10. Just what the most important thing that they need to focus on, surrender, please. Awesome. Thank you. Let's see what this says. Surrender your need to always be right. Give others the gift of letting them be right by yielding, not being rigid. This will help resolve conflicts and improve your relationships, okay? All right. It is what it is. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just the messenger. The card, that's the card that came out. You saw me shuffle. All right. So, as I was saying, the most important part of any readings that I do is always the advice, because again, you are the creators, you're the magicians, and until you take control, responsibility, and power back for your life and stop giving it away to things outside of you, then nothing will ever change. That goes for everyone, myself included, because I want you guys to actually get what you want. Not to be addicted to tarot readings and watching tarot readings 5 years from now, hoping and wishing and praying, crossing your fingers that eventually one day you'll get the thing that you want. When we're not meant to be that way. We're meant to create it, manifest it. We're meant to get it, go after it. And we have a responsibility in that. We can't just sit and expect things to be UPS delivered to us. And any person who says otherwise is full of shit. That's not how that works. It's twofold. There's action that's required on our part. We have to do our part, and then the universe is doing its part too. It's a collaboration, right? That's why it's called co-creating. We take responsibility for the things that we're responsible for. The universe has got what it's handling the rest of it. It's doing its part. Okay. And so, if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate it if you would like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It's completely free for you. If you would like to book a personal private reading, again, all the information is in the description box below. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. Please feel free to leave comments. I will try to respond to them if I can. And hopefully sometime in the near future, I will be going live. Come join me for a free live tarot reading. And I really do care about you. I know I can be very intense and passionate when I'm on this channel serving you all, but it's for your highest good. I deeply and genuinely care. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on here for over an hour, almost an hour and a half, right? So hopefully I've offered something and it was beneficial to you guys for that. So until next time, farewell. And as always, my friends, love and light.